Hey guys, Stitching May here on like my 10th attempt at this video. I'm going to do the Know Your Needleworker tag, and then I'm going to also do my Stitch from Stash budget and do my whip update. I'll start with the Know Your Needleworker tag, which is done by Whimsydaisical. And I will put a link into the video in the description. And this is completely off the cuff, and so I may start rambling, so I apologize if I do. Number one is, where do you live? The answer to that is Georgia. I'm not going to tell you the name of my town because I'm just a little bit paranoid. No, I live in a smaller town, so I don't want to name the name of my town. I'm about 2.5 hours away from Atlanta, and about an hour and a half-ish away from like Chattanooga area. So I'm kind of in the northwestern part of Georgia. What do you do for a living? I am a registered nurse, and I work in an inpatient rehab unit. We are a short-term rehab facility and not drug rehab. We work with patients who had strokes and things like that. I did the ER for 3 years, and I enjoyed things of the ER, but I am at home in rehab. I really enjoy the part of rehab that I get to see my patients get better and go home. In the ER, we're not allowed to really follow up on our patients because of laws in America that are privacy laws. It's a need to know thing. So like, you can't go and see how your patients are really after you've taken care of them in the ER. Here I get to see them go home, and I can see them come in who can't, like some of them can't walk. We do anything from spinal injuries to strokes to, subdural bleeds and that kind of thing. And it's just a really self-fulfilling, I guess it's almost selfish because I get to see that I make a difference, But anyway, I really enjoy my job. I don't know that I would even work in a different unit. My coworkers are great. Of course we all have bad days at work, but I really, truly enjoy my job. I've been a nurse now for about 7 years. I started school right out of high school because I knew what I wanted to do. And I worked at the same hospital my whole nursing career as well. So I really, I just can't imagine myself doing anything else other than, being independently wealthy and owning a cross-stitch shop. So there's that. Number 3, what are your 3 favorite hobbies other than cross-stitch? And this is going to make me sound completely lame. I don't really have time for any other hobbies. With my son and the way my husband and I's work schedule, we have it to where we don't have to do daycare, which means that we are like ships passing in the night a lot. But we, as far as my husband and I are, but really, cross stitch is my thing. I know that sounds completely lame and completely sad. It's not that though. It's just I don't have time for anything else right now. I do enjoy to read, and I now listen to audiobooks. I'm not a big gamer, but I do enjoy video games and board games and things like that. But really and truly, cross stitch is my big thing, and I feel completely lame saying that. So I'm just gonna move on from that question. Do you have any children? I do. I have a 2-year-old. He will be 3 in December. And people ask us if we want any more. Granted, yes. I think I would love another child, but my son was so sick when he was born. I've never really gone into his story. Long story short, his stomach ruptured at 4 days old, and he almost died. He was sent down to Atlanta. They were going to life flight him in a helicopter, but the weather was too bad. And he is not he was at Eggleston in Atlanta, and there have only been 6 kids to go through what he went through. Just a random rupture. There wasn't trauma involved or anything like that. And of those 6 kids, only 2 survived. One of those children was way before Connor was, but he had long-term effects, and my son doesn't have any long-term effects. He went through so many things that they were like, we don't know if he's going to make this, but then he did. He surpassed all of they said he will be in the hospital for 6 months. He was only in the hospital for a month and a half. They told us that he would have a feeding tube for 2 years. He only had it for 8 months. The kid is super, super strong-willed and super, super awesome. And my husband and I have decided that kind of we don't want, he fought so hard to be here that we don't want to take any attention away from him. Plus, we're very afraid of, they don't know if his issue is genetic or not, because they haven't had enough to study. He will actually be he's actually in a medical journal, so like we've been working with the doctors still, even now that he's fine, we report to the doctors and let them know to see if there are any other hurdles and that kind of thing. But, so they don't know that it's not a genetic thing, and we don't want to risk another child going through that. Now with that said, if we had another child, we would be very happy, but I don't see us ever, you know, planning another child. So, but that's what it is, and we're very proud and very blessed to have him. So if you think, I mean, some of the videos you can kind of tell he's a little spoiled, but we kind of think he deserves it. So, do you have any pets? Yes, we have one Chihuahua, and his name is Trip, and he's tri-colored. He's black, white, and brown. And we also have 2 fish. We have a goldfish and a Corydoras, which is a bottom feeder, which is what the pet store recommended for a smaller tank. Oddly enough, we have gone through 4 fish. These are my son's fish. We lost one each. Like, we lost the Dory Core when we first got home, and then we lost the goldfish later, and we told my son that we took him to the doctor and that he came back better, because I didn't want to explain to a 2-year-old what happened to his fish. The dog, I think she explained also on, I think Whimsydaisical explained why she named her pets that. And we named our dog Trip because he was tri-colored, which is kind of dumb because he's triple colored, but it worked because he's constantly tripping people. And my son named the fish, and they are Thing 1 and Thing 2 that he named from his favorite book, Cat in the Hat. What is your favorite movie? Oh God, I'm not good at picking out favorites. Either Dirty Dancing or Uptown Girls. Those are the 2 movies that I could watch over and over and over and over again. And those are probably my 2 favorite movies. There are others that I've really enjoyed, and I'm not going to get into all those, but I'm a very eclectic movie person. Like, my husband and I just went to see Dracula, The Untold Story. Oh my gosh, such a good movie. Such a good movie. Completely different spin on Dracula. Don't go expecting the normal Dracula. It's not a horror movie. It's actually a very kind of violent movie though. But really good movie. Down to, like I said, Uptown Girls. A very, very chick flick movie. So I'm kind of eclectic. What is your favorite TV show? Again, I guess the one that I watch over and God, there are 3 shows that I can watch anytime, and that would be Friends, Roseanne, oddly enough, and Golden Girls. Those 3 movies are like, those 3 shows are like my go-to. Like, I can put those on the DVD and watch them, and it doesn't matter if I've seen the episode 500 times and know exactly what happens. I end up laughing or crying along with the episode. As far as current TV show, I would have to say The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones right now. I guess that would have to be those 2, right, that are current. What is your favorite music? My husband's music. I guess I'd have to say my husband's music. But really it is my husband's music. But as far as that you hear on the radio, kind of 90s alternative. I used to listen to a lot of country, and country doesn't bother me. They're really I cannot stand rap music and like the angry, screaming rock music. Other than that, I'm okay. I'll listen to anything. But I again, very eclectic. I'm not good at favorites. I mean, some of the oldies, Creedence Clearwater, Eagles, down to, the newer stuff that's on, like the newer alternative. So I'm not a big pop or hip hop person though. What is your favorite book? That would have to be Pride and Prejudice, off the top of my head, completely off the top of my head. That was a book that I read in high school, and it just always stands out as one of my favorite books. I also enjoyed Gone with the Wind, which I read after high school. But Pride and Prejudice was probably the, I just loved, I don't know, I haven't read it again though, but I can't reread books. That's one thing I can't do, is reread books. I don't know why. What one word describes you best? I don't have a clue. Like a personality, I can be very sarcastic, but I don't want to say sarcastic. I have no clue how to do this. I guess I don't want to say quirky. I'm outgoing, but I don't know. I'm basic. There we go. I guess basic. I'm a very basic person. I guess that's what I'll go with. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. I try to find the pleasures in little things. I like to stay at home with my family. I'm not a big extravagant, like, you know, I don't know. I guess a basic person. Is that, God, I sound so lame in this video. I'm gonna move on because this tags me kind of sad. So anyway, back to my whips. I do have a finish. I'm kind of depressed now. I do have a finish. I finished my Christmas Cardinal Ball by AAN, and I didn't do a lot in my rotation. I ended up focusing mainly on this because I could see the finish coming, and I'll insert a picture here of where I was at before I started this month. And then this is where I'm at now. It's finished. I found out this is a wire fabric. A lot of you guys were asking, and I told you I didn't know that. I had just found it. But then I realized somebody told me that it had an orange band in this binding. That was wire fabric. And it does have the orange band. So apparently this is Swigert 18 count white and silver Aida. I don't know what number I ended up using for the silver ribbon. It's just a basic DMC color. And then the number of the variation thread or the variegated thread is DMC 115. This pattern does have some back stitch within the ornament, but I'm leaving it out. I like the gaps because it's just filler to fill in the gaps, but I like the gaps because of the metallic showing through. I think I'm going to frame this myself because I don't want it to have a matte. I like the metallic in the fabric. So I'm going to try to do, I guess, one of those foam mount boards. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. I know you framers out there cringing of thinking of me framing this by myself. And who knows, I may end up defaulting and doing a frame, but we'll see. But there that is. I did not touch 99 bottles at all this month, and I've got to be more strict on my rotation. I tend to, when I see a finish coming, I focus on that, and it takes up my whole month. So, but I did stitch a little bit on Starry Night, and I will insert the before picture here. And then here is where I'm at now. Only did a little bit more in this bottom corner. And my New Year's resolution this year is to be more strict on my rotations. We'll see how that goes. And then I do also have a new start. My new start is actually one of the patterns I got on my vacation. I showed it to you as Waxing Moon Designs, little Merry Christmas stocking. I wasn't going to do a new start, but on the Cross Stitch and Discuss 2 group, they started a Christmas challenge, and we started it. I don't know what day we started it, but then you have until December the 24th to finish it, and if you finish it in time, you get entered into a giveaway. So I started this one by the Waxing Moon Designs, It's just a little stocking, and it called for a week's dye works, and I just used the DMC instead. And not a lot's been done. I've only been working on Fridays, and now that I finished the AA, I've been taking it to work for me on my breaks. I'm gonna wait till I'm done before I say I don't like the DNC trades. The color's kind of weird in the middle, but I'm thinking that once it's the full stocking, it may look better. And then when I do the holly, I'm gonna have to trade out every other leaf of 2 colors of DMC to give it the same effect. And then it does have beading, so I'll do my first beading on this, and I figured that would be a good way to introduce myself to beading as well. But there, that is. And then I don't know if I've talked about it yet or not, but my stitch from Stash Budget, this was my exempt month, and I haven't really hauled anything else since my vacation because I went overboard on my vacation. I did go ahead and get the piece of fabric for my Mirabilla, which is just a raw linen Weichel linen, 32 count. And then I'm going to eventually buy, I've decided that for my Save the Stitches, I'm going to do a 32 count even weave, probably the lamb's wool color, nothing fancy. But I did order the linen already from a new store on eBay, and that was a new experience. I've never purchased from eBay before. I'm kind of afraid because it was so easy, and if this store turns out to be as good as the person who recommended it to me says it is, I may have 2 LNSs between Crazy Annie Stitching and in this eBay store. I'm not going to mention it until I have a few more experiences. I don't want to tell you guys about a store and then it end up being bad. But I actually got the piece of fabric for about $3 cheaper than I would have paid, including shipping, than I would have paid at 123 Stitch. So definitely will be buying more fabric from her. But that's really everything on this. Oh, I didn't tell you how much I spent for my budget this month. I ended up spending a total of $120. Now that's including a gift that I purchased for somebody, shipping and taxes. So normally when you do this budget, you've got $25, not counting shipping or taxes or anything that you buy as a gift for somebody else or anything you're immediately going to work on. So technically this pattern doesn't even count as against it now because I started it the same month, so technically, but because it was my exempt month anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and include everything and say that I spent $120 this month on stitching stuff. Way too much money. I'm gonna have to calm down and only buy what I need for my whips next year, that I'm gonna be starting in January. I've not decided if I'm gonna do the Heaven and Earth design whip in December or stitch along. It's another stitch along on Cross Stitch and Discuss. I really want to try to start it, but I've got my 99 bottles and my Starry Night, which are for me, a BAP. So I don't want to start another one and those get knocked back anymore. I've got to finish Starry Night and 99 bottles next year. I think my husband will, go crazy if I don't finish those 2. Those are the 2 that he wants to see finished the most, and I've not finished them. I keep doing other things beforehand. I think he'll be angry if I don't finish those, so I've got to finish those next year. And I'm afraid that if I start the Dragonfly from Heaven and Earth that I'll push those to the back again. So, but we'll see. I don't know. I keep getting tempted, so I'll probably end up starting it as well, but I don't know. But that's everything for now, and please, I need to say before I say that's everything for now that it is amazing, the response. I think, wait, that was one of the questions on the tag, was who inspired you to start posting YouTube videos, and I missed that question. But that touches on what I'm about to say anyway, so, wow, this video is everywhere, I apologize. Whenever I first started doing videos, I think Jellicles Forever, Cross Stitch Button, and Shell Stitch 67 were the only 3 people that had put their cross stitch that I had found at that time out there. I think the first one I saw was actually a Jellicles Forever video, and I don't know how I came across it. It was completely random, and she had shown some of her cross stitch stuff that she had purchased, and I was like, hey, maybe I could do that. That would be a neat way to meet people and do, to see what happened. So I told my husband that I was going to put cross stitch videos on YouTube, and I think he kind of laughed at me, to be honest. I think I kind of laughed at myself because I thought nobody is going to go on YouTube looking for cross stitch. And so I loaded 1 or 2 videos, and I was like, you know, if anybody pays attention to my videos, that's fine. If they don't, that's okay. And then, like, it's now, this February will be 2 years. It's like going crazy, and I'm so excited. There are so many of you putting out videos. I can't keep up with all the videos. I owe some of you an apology because I'm missing some of your videos, even though I'm trying not to miss your videos. I'm constantly having to watch Flosstube, which is completely, you know, horrible that I have to watch Flosstube, right? I completely hate it. But I just want to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed and commented and made your own videos and shown your videos or your progress other ways, or given tips, or just shared your experiences in comments. I'm really, really proud of our community, of our Flosstube. I think it's awesome that we've had very few trolls in the area, in our group. And I just love watching your videos, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of our community, even if you don't make your videos. If you don't make videos, it's so easy. Now I say that, and this is my 8th take on this video, but it really is easy. It takes me a couple takes to get relaxed again in front of the camera, but it's easy to upload, easy to do, and you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can just show your work, and we would love to see your videos. But as always, thanks for watching, and happy stitching.